Hello and welcome back to Whovian Espresso, and it seems like ages since I pre-ordered these. I pre-ordered them right back at the start of February, I think, so almost a month ago since I pre-ordered these figures, and they finally arrived after much worrying whether they would arrive or not. They finally arrived. I got the, I didn't get the entire range because I already had a Jadoon and I already had a 13th Doctor figure. I basically just wanted to go with the new figures and the TARDIS, obviously, because I love a TARDIS and this one lights up, and I haven't got a classic box, and I know it is just a classic box that lights up, so I'm very happy about that. I'm very excited about that. But I really want to just get these open, so we're going to look at them in their packaging, and then I'm going to just show you them all, because I know there have been loads of reviews, but I just wanted to have something to do, because I am at home now because of the coronavirus, and schools are going to be shut for the foreseeable future. So I thought I might as well get this done because it's something to do, and I'm sure it's something for you guys to watch. I mean, it passes the time. So let's go. So to start off with, let's talk about Graham O'Brien. Still my favourite companion, I think, of the new companions for the Jodie Whittaker era. This is him as seen in Arachnids in the UK from Series 11. Somewhat infamous story. I don't mind it, to be honest. I think the way they use the spiders is actually pretty decent, and the spider visual effects are very good, but Graham is good in any episode he's in because he's just a fantastic actor, Bradley Walsh. It's nice to have him in action figure format. I'm not going to talk about the packaging in too much detail on both of them, but I will briefly just talk about this. This is the new B&M style guide that we've seen on the sets last year, which I was going to review, but I didn't in the end. But here he is in his lovely box with this lovely window with lots of, like, you can see from all sorts of different angles and everything. You can't see from the bottom, but because they've got this now on blister card, which I think I don't know, I kind of prefer the style packaging we have with Peter Capaldi, but I mean, this is still nice. I think it's nice to continue that TARDIS window thing there. It says 4 to collect, character options, Graham O'Brien, then you've got the TARDIS, the other side of the TARDIS there, the Doctor Who logo at the top, and 5+. Yeah, in the back we've got all the releases, including a new variant which is still not up for pre-order, but I mean, who knows, and the other figure that I didn't get, and the other one as well. There's a re-release on Sonic coming out, I know that much. It was on Time Meddlers, and got another TARDIS bit, and loads of legal stuff, but I think it's about time we opened him up. So here he is, out of his box. He's got some lovely detailing. I don't own any of the Primeval figures, so it doesn't really bother me that much that they used a Primeval figure sculpt. I know they're going to do it for other releases as well, including Ryan and Yaz. They also used it for Bill Potts, but this one, look, I think it works just about well enough. And I mean, if you don't have the Primeval figures, it's not as noticeable. As said, I didn't notice until it was pointed out to me, because it is a very good substitute for the for the costume, and it just means we get new figures. Although it is something I would have expected of a B&M release more than anything else, but because we had Harry Sullivan, which was just a reuse of parts, and a new head sculpt, which is basically what they've done here. So I guess, I don't know why Graham has been released outside of B&M, but the companions, the other Ryan and Yaz, are going to be in a companion set. It just seemed a bit odd. I guess they can probably get away with charging more because they know Bradley Walsh is probably more popular, but he does look very nice next to the 13th Doctor, and he has all the standard articulation that you'd expect from Graham, from a 5.5-inch action figure. Some lovely detailing and creases in the sculpt and everything, and the hair's got a nice sort of white wash over it to represent the grey hairs. And the face sculpt has got a very nice likeness to Bradley Walsh there as well. So that's very nice. And I think now we can move on to the Reconnaissance Dalek. So, the thing we've probably all been waiting for, the Reconnaissance Dalek, which is the first, I think, first full new sculpt, at least for a long time. I'm not sure quite how long. Probably since the Matt Smith era, I'd want to say, because I don't think, unless you count Missy, I think Missy probably is, maybe Clara, but this is something that a lot of people have wanted, is a new sculpt or a new Dalek, and the Dalek is a very big crowd pleaser. So while I wasn't particularly keen on the design in the episode, and I'm still not particularly keen, I do think it makes for a wonderful action figure, particularly in hand. Like, the pictures I've seen on the internet really don't do it justice. Like, as standard Dalek, it has, like, all the standard features, except there's a couple of, like, added ones. We have, the eye stalk, we have its swivel at the head, you know. The thing that I think is obviously the best thing I think about it is the, swivel here. It's a bit stiff, but it moves just about alright, which I think is lovely. And also, it has a mutant reveal section, which I think is, like, something that I think I would personally like, because I never managed to get the original mutant reveal Dalek. But it also comes with a nice PVC Dalek, which I'm sure the tentacles will probably all rip off eventually. But it is a very nice representation of what we see in the episode. It's actually very much more like than I thought it would. There's even a slight pink tint. I don't know if you can necessarily see the slight pink tint, but there is a very slight pink tint on the brain, which is very nice. And there's all bits of like green detailing, like goo and everything, and the tentacles are all, they're all very tentacly, and that can obviously fit in there. I mean, it does look a bit weird if you just have it coming out like that, but like, it kind of works, I think. I don't know how far you would want to push that in case you never got it out again, but it's very nice to have that feature again, which is something that a lot of people missed out on, like me, when the original one came out. There's some very nice detailing. I think they've really done this design justice. It does look a lot, it doesn't look as, I think this probably looks better than the actual one in the episode, to be honest, because it doesn't have all the bits and bobs that are thrown together. It looks more like a standard sort of rusted away Dalek, more than one that's been cobbled together of different pieces and parts, which I think probably works a lot better than the thing that just shown. There's a new Dalek gun sculpt as well, which is interesting, as well as a new claw sculpt, which I think is very interesting, because there is a claw version of the Dalek that came with, I think I want to say the Stolen Earth set, but you know, I think that was possibly it. But this is slightly different claw design. It's slightly shorter as well, sort of more stubbier than the other Dalek claws, and the gun is slightly different as well, because it's not the sort of piping here is like sort of more apart, and it's also quite shorter. And some interesting details here that I'm not sure about. But it does look the part, and it looks much better than the one in the episode, and the eye stalk looks very nice as well. They've got the nice little circular details in the eye stalk as well. Coming to the TARDIS now, it does come on a nice little diorama, which appears to be of Desolation from the Ghost Monument, which is very nice. I'm glad that they're including these, because they did that in the episode, I mean, with the other B&M TARDISes, they've been getting more and more creative with these. If I'm honest, I think this one and the Androzani one are a bit dull in comparison, but I suppose what more can you do with a cliff? Personally, I would have done, particularly with this TARDIS set, I know they did release a new bum bag variant, but what I would have done is have this be an Arachnids in the UK set, and have the Doctor with her bum bag, and the TARDIS in Sheffield, and maybe a giant spider or something. But I mean, that's just being fussy, because I am glad that we finally got a TARDIS, although I do have a couple of problems with it. The fact that it doesn't have an interior card. I am going to add an interior card, and I don't know if I'll put it in the video. I think I might do. I'm just thinking about it now. I'm just like, should I put the interior card like in the video? But I guess I will, maybe. But it looks very nice when you put all the action figures together. If I just get my Pating custom, I don't know why I really want to, but got the little Pating custom. It all sort of like looks like a very nice sort of display there. You can't see it there, but I don't know why I brought it on now. But it looks for, if I just zoom out, it makes for a very nice sort of display there of all the figures from the 13th Doctor era. So it's just a nice thing to have included, really. But let's get this TARDIS out of the box. One thing I did want to mention just before we get into the review of the actual TARDIS is there's a lovely little, I don't know, lovely reflection of the TARDIS there on that lovely diorama, which we're just going to leave there because we're going to paste TARDIS on it. But we'll also get some instructions. You need 3 AAA batteries. I thought it was AA, but it's AAA. It just gives you some basic instructions about how to do it, which I'm sure many of us are familiar with. They've used the old graphics for the original TARDIS, but I mean, there is a budget. We can't change the graphics, but oh well. It's the same gist, I guess. But we're gonna let's have a look at the TARDIS itself. Here it is, the 13th Doctor's TARDIS out of its box. As you can see, despite the fact that the use of the classic mould, which I get my 5th Doctor TARDIS in a minute, I'll do a comparison, I think it still stands out and looks very distinctive amongst them. And it, especially helped by the new roof and lantern, which we'll get to in a minute. Obviously the nice little signing, the sort of silver glass windows all set it apart. And although it's not necessarily in a perfect world, I think we could have had a new sculpt. If I'm honest, given that we only have a light in the top, I would have rather they just abolished the light and just released this as a B&M set. I think it would have made more sense to me, but particularly if they were going to do this. But I think it's nice that we do have this. I just wish they'd been able to do more with it. I don't necessarily blame them for that. I just think adding the electronics and making this a standard release is a bit just not really the kind of thing I would have done if I was in their position, because you can get away with it. I don't mind the fact they've done this because I understand why, but I just wish they hadn't done it in the way that they had. But I mean, we can't always have what we want, and I'm just glad that we have a 13th Doctor TARDIS. Like, I wasn't sure if we were going to get one for a minute, but we did, and I'm very happy that we do. There's some nice detailing, including the new signpost, like, handle thing, which I thought was really nice, in the Ghost Monument when you see her, and she's like, you know, I'm home, and so on. And you've got the lovely, the paint applications, very much the right colour. I wasn't sure if it was going to be the right colour or not, but it is, I think, very much accurate there. We've got a new sticker there. Again, they've used the window panes from the classic box, so it not quite the right size, and neither are the windows, but I think it still works just about. You can see I have indeed added my interior card. But I wasn't sure if I was going to do it for a minute then, but I did. Obviously, we have the same old problems as usual. We have the speaker grill and that, but I mean, I can get past that, to be honest. It's just a nice, I love a TARDIS box because it's such a simplistic design, but it always works so well. And you've got the nice little wood grain and so on, and the little bits of concrete and stuff to make it look more like a police box. We also have a new roof. We have a new roof piece, which is the most exciting bit. If I just take this out of the way for now, because it's getting in my way now. We have a new roof piece. Oh, Graham just fell over. I know you can't see because they've sort of it's moved back there. Yeah, that works better. You've got a new roof piece with a new lantern on top as well, which I think if they hadn't done the lantern piece, I might have been a bit annoyed. But it's nice to have a new lantern piece. I mean, I hope that this means in future we might get more new lantern pieces, because we've got the new lantern piece for the Shard TARDIS. So maybe having the sort of original little lantern on the top of the William Hartnell box. If they do a B&M William Hartnell box. The new stacked roof looks very effective, I think, as a new TARDIS. It's just a shame about the slats there that they're missing, but overall I think it really works. I'm sure I won't bore you with the standard lights and sound effects, because I'm sure you've heard them all before. But just to let you know, they work in the standard way, usual, with the button and stuff, like it normally would. And you'd have to activate them by doing this, which is a very powerful light. I was quite impressed by the light bulb. I think it really stands out. I don't know if you can even hear me over the top of it, but I'm just gonna... Oh, no, I can't. I just have to let it play. It will continue to pulsate after that, but as you can see, it's very powerful as a light. It's a shame they have used a sticker for this, because I can see this getting sort of damaged over time. But apart from that, if we open up the doors, we have my lovely new interior card, which I mean, I don't mind necessarily doing it, but I think it would have been better if they had just included that, because it's not necessarily that hard. I know it might have been a bit production cost heavy, but you are charging £25 for a new box. I mean, the least you could have done is add the interior card. I mean, just for me, it kind of is a bit lazy, but I mean, I didn't mind doing it. I think it was quite fun. I had a lot of trouble trying to get the right size, but I got there in the end, and I think it still works very nice there, even if you can just see it through the windows. For comparison, here is the 13th. I'm sorry, I have to get rid of my sort of podium thing. I guess I can't really call it a tripod anymore, but here it is in comparison to the other TARDISes. As you can see, it's used the base from the third Doctor TARDIS. The main sculpt from this TARDIS is, I think, this one, with the, well, I suppose it's got a different roof, so you can't really tell, but you can see the roofs are different next to it. You also have this is the 11th Doctor TARDIS, my original one. I've had it for so many years now. Even the lantern on top is sort of dodgy now. It doesn't work, any lights or anything. Just makes some sounds. But you can't, and also the door on this one doesn't work. None of the doors on my new series TARDISes, like the little button here, none of those the buttons work on mine anymore because I've had them that long and I just use them so much. But it's nice to have a new TARDIS. I love the TARDISes. In general, I think they really always look very nice on the shelf or with a diorama or with the other figures in the range. It just always works for me. So there you go, that's the figure in comparison to the other ones. I think out of all of them, I think my favourite is probably the 5th Doctor box. It's just a shame one of the windows on my 5th Doctor box is a bit dodgy, but yeah. I think they all look very nice together. It's nice to have a little sort of lineup of TARDISes. These aren't all my TARDISes. No, it's not all my TARDISes, but I think it does look nice together just to have them all. A sea of different shades of blue. I could have them in like getting from the lightest. Obviously, that would probably be the darkest, or maybe that one. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. I'm not sure. I have to think about it. I think this one might be just darker. But yeah, that's all of them in comparison. So this is how I'm currently displaying the new action figure range so far. I think it all looks very nice together. It all comes together very nicely to make a very good collection, including the Jadoon and Captain Jack that I put there, just because I thought it would look nice to have them all together like that. But I think it kind of all sets up apart quite nicely. And it's a nice sort of era along with my other action figures in this range. So, what did I think of these products overall? While I think a couple of them maybe should have been B&M figures, I don't think this should be. I think this is fantastic that they managed to do this whole new sculpt. I still really do like these figures. Even if at the extended price point, it's nice just to have some new figures from a new series for once. So I'm very glad to have these in my collection, even if I'm not necessarily the fondest of the episodes that they're from, or well, I like some of the episodes, and I do like Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, so it's nice to have a TARDIS with her, and I love Graham. But like, even if I'm not necessarily the greatest fan of Resolution, for example, I still appreciate this as a figure. I think it really looks really nice and much better than the original design of the episode. So I'm very grateful to have these figures overall, and I'd highly recommend them. And they're available from various sources. It's quite hard to get them at the moment because of the coronavirus. I don't know if that's going to affect shipping or anything. I know that you can't get the 13th Doctor on Amazon, the new variant, till the 21st of March. But every other figure you might be able to get from, I know not all of them are on Prime. I think I saw one that was third-party sellers only. So I mean, it's getting complicated. So I don't know how the distribution for these figures is quite working at the moment. But yeah. So overall, I'm really happy. I really like these figures, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, evening, or whatever you're watching this. And thank you for watching. Bye.